minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Shout out to Kopish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
All the good work.
The
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm a legends, guys.
Kopish.
Good afternoon, lovely people. Hope you're well and welcome to another live match preview. This time is Norwich City versus Liverpool Football Club in the Carabao Cup, the name that changes more than you've ever seen before. Man like Matt, how you doing today, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. Looking forward to this game. Another game. Do you know what it reminds me of? Obviously, when we had the dare I say it, the pandemic and that, and it was like 2 games a week, like natural.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm looking forward to this because I'm not gonna lie, bro. After that win against, Palace, I just wanted to see another Liverpool game, innit? And here we are, bro.
As they say, strike while the iron's hot. Momentum is key. And look, we've started off the season really well, in my opinion. We've literally got identical results to Chelsea Football Club. There's an argument to say Chelsea have played slightly harder opposition because obviously they played Tottenham and they played Arsenal. Nonetheless, you can only do what's out in front of you, and we beat who we beat, and we beat them comfortably. We've conceded 1 goal in the Premier League this season from a set piece, so nothing from open play. And we obviously conceded 2 against AC Milan, which, in my opinion, we can kind of write off as the first game in Europe and an unsettled defense, etc. Yada, yada, yada. That being said, Matt, this game is a game that not many people can predict because we genuinely don't know who Klopp's going to start. I mean, there's a few injury concerns, etc., which you spoke to me about before the stream. So feel free to share them. Obviously, we'll go into detail about it in the show tonight. But what's the sort of injury news, bro, that you've got?
Well, at the moment, Thiago's definitely been ruled out for both games. So obviously that's tomorrow against Norwich, which I don't think he would have played anyway, but he's definitely ruled out for the Brentford game. Firmino's back in training, but tomorrow comes too soon. But again, I don't think he would have started. Maybe he would have came on at some point. Trent as well. Linders was saying it's too early for Trent as well to be involved in some capacity. So he won't be back, and he's fighting for fitness to get fit for the weekend. And I believe Nico Williams as well. He's injured as well currently. It's come too early for him for game as well. And I believe that is it. So yeah, there's a few people that will be out. So that's Thiago, Nico, Trent, and there was one more, wasn't there? Firmino, yeah. So those 4 definitely missing the game.
Yeah, which again, barring Nico, I don't think any of those 3 would have started this game.
Yeah, I agree. I think only Nico is the one that was kind of a shoe-in to kind of maybe start this game.
Yeah. So that being said, it will be interesting to see how Klopp goes in this game. Obviously, Tsimikas and Milner played at the weekend as well. So you ask yourself, does this game come a bit too quick for them? A couple of you saying the stream is lagging in the chat. Everything seems all right on our end.
Yeah, on our end, nothing's lagging.
So I don't know if that's a YouTube thing then.
But no, someone from Twitch,
Twitch is saying that as well. Okay,
that's weird because on our end, normally we'll get some type of like confirmation that it's lagging. You'll see us.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing on our end. Guys, just bear with us. Obviously, we'll try and keep it running as smooth as we can.
Yeah.
We don't know if there's something going on with the servers, but it's definitely not on our end. We'd usually get a notification if something's wrong at our end, and neither of us have that notification right now.
So
but we'll keep moving
people.
as best as we can. But yeah, apologies, people. It's saying
says Matt, your mouth is moving, but Callum is speaking.
That's
it's fine now. Someone said it's fine now.
Okay.
Hold on. It's fine. It's
fine
fine now. Okay.
Cool.
We
We're
move.
back.
We move.
Bless you people for letting us know, and bless you people for sticking in with us as well.
Exactly.
So that being said, Matt, I've got a starting 11 that I half want to see and half I think Klopp would go for. I want to get your thoughts on it, and I'll explain why I've made these selections.
Go on.
I got Kelleher in goal for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
He hasn't had a game yet this season. Alisson needs a rest.
Yep.
Connor Bradley at right back, because Nico Williams isn't obviously he's not available. So I'm going Connor Bradley at right back.
And neither is Trent. And Milner
played. Phillips and Gomez to play centre back. Konate just played with
Virgil.
Matip and Gomez played in the Champions League, but I wouldn't risk Matip in this game. Plus, Phillips needs some minutes. I know a couple of you will say, what about Kumetio? I've got Kumetio on the bench, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't
potentially. I don't think we should start him in this game. That's just me personally. I think Gomez and Phillips would be good to get a run out in this game.
Definitely.
And then at left back, I'm going Owen Beck at left back. I'm not going Tsimikas because Tsimikas played against Norwich and played a hard game. Now I'm about to contradict myself because I have got Milner starting.
There it is.
I've got Milner starting because we need experienced head on the pitch. Plus, we don't have a natural defensive midfielder, and Henderson and Fabinho aren't going to touch this game. I would go for Milner in midfield alongside Ox and Jones. I think Jones needs a run out and Ox needs a run out. Now up top, I've gone with Kaide Gordon, who has been spoken up really highly by Pep yesterday. Divock Origi through the middle, and Minamino from the left.
Okay.
I was tempted to play Musliowski, but I do think Minamino needs some minutes.
Okay.
What's your thoughts?
It's pretty much, I think, what I would do. The only difference is I'll be thinking, do we need a more senior left back? But then I think Robbo, there was a reason why Robbo was rested. That's why Tsimikas came in. But then, as you said, Tsimikas played a hard game. So maybe it would have to be, who did you say is that left back you put?
Owen Beck from the Reserve.
It might have to be Owen Beck. Midfield, we do need, this is the thing, we kind of do need a bit of seniority in there. We are light. And I wouldn't put Naby in there either because I feel like these are games where I don't want to take unnecessary risks in it. So
Ox hasn't played for a little while, and Jones hasn't played much this season. Where Kate has had a good amount of minutes.
Indeed. Now Ox and Jones should really be enough. And then, funny enough, you went for Kaide Gordon because I was thinking about him as well. But then I think, but what about Musiałowski? But from what I'm hearing, Kaide Gordon is like at the moment just playing better than Musiałowski. Not saying Musiałowski's playing
ahead of his development.
Yeah. And then Divock Origi definitely needs to get some game time because I want to make sure that if we do need to call upon him maybe on the weekend, that he's fit as well. So even if he doesn't play the full game, he plays 60. And then, as you said, Taki needs to play. Taki needs confidence. So I want him to play as well. So I'm not going to lie, bro. There's not really much more. Big up Striker A. He says, should we play Jota first start to get? But it's a risk.
I couldn't put him in because of the risk, because God forbid he gets an injury or suspension.
Yeah.
Like, we're down to our bare bones up top.
But it's so mad that we're only... Was it 5 games into the Premier League season?
Yeah.
1 Champions League game, and this is the first EFL game, or Carabao Cup, whatever you want to call it. And we already in a couple of problems.
Yeah.
Flipping out.
And dare I say it, the injuries we've got aren't to people who you'd consider having injury issues. Like Firmino is robust.
Yep.
Elliot was robust last season, has been robust since he's come into senior football. Again, freak injury.
Yeah.
Thiago got taken out last season, but apart from that, was available.
Yeah. And Trent is, let's be, I know Trent had an injury last season, but really and truly, if you consider since Trent's come to Liverpool, Trent hardly gets injured, you know. He picks up the odd knock, but
was it in at the weekend? It was illness that kept him out.
Yeah,
not
so he's
injury.
one anything. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It was illness. Sorry, you're right. It was
but even that
sorry.
Trent, it does worry me with Trent that he's so young and he's played a lot of football. So again, even that
we need able cover though, which is something we don't have.
We don't have. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see which direction we go, but I don't want to see a very. And here's the thing: we rested quite a few players at the weekend. Is there an argument to say that the team we've got here is maybe too inexperienced? But then again, you look at Milner, heaps of. You've got even Phillips. You could say he's got a good amount of experience. He was on loan at Stuttgart. Obviously, played a vital role in us getting top 4 last season. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players out of the 11.
Yeah,
who we predict to start, who have got good experience. That should be enough. And again, I'm not saying we go and roast Norwich, because Norwich aren't a rubbish team for this team that we'd be playing. But we should still have enough, in my opinion.
No, I agree. Let me ask you this as well. This just came to my brain as well. Because obviously we know Conor Bradley's good, but again, he's still young. And what I'm about to say is actually maybe he's making us more defensive. Would you even consider Konate playing again? Because he's still young. He's fresh. He only played one game. So Konate and Phillips, and then in instead of defense, and then right back Joe Gomez.
Not a bad shout.
Or not even a back three. But the thing is,
I don't think back 3 for this game. But your shout just then, it's not a bad shout.
Because I do feel like I don't know. Is it too much to put too many inexperienced players in the back line? So that it'll be 2 out of the 4 if we do that. So that's Conor Bradley, and I keep forgetting the left back's name. Oh my days! Who did you put at left back again? Sorry, I've forgotten his name again.
Owen Beck.
Yeah, Owen Beck. That's 2 youngsters on both sides, playing next to one young centre back on one experienced centre back, so to speak.
I hear what you're saying. Actually, it's not a bad shout. The only thing I worry about Gomez playing at right back because of the injuries.
That's true.
But at the same time, sometimes you just got to throw players in at the deep end. If you baby someone, then they're not going to get tougher or build up that sort of resistance as well. Again, the only reason, just to caveat the whole Tsimikas thing, the only reason I haven't gone for Tsimikas in this game is because I do think Klopp may use this game as a bit of an experimentation as well. And Tsimikas did have a tough game, and Robbo's definitely not playing this game. And not saying Tsimikas can't do Saturday, Tuesday. He can. He did it in Greece, but I don't think we would do it. But if I'm proven wrong, then I hold my hands up. John Conway says Norwich 1, Liverpool 2. You'll never walk alone. Big up to yourself, John.
Big up yourself, John.
Shaka A says our squad is so thin that we're already confused. I mean, it's weird because obviously, as Matt said earlier, we've got Firmino who's an injury, Thiago and Elliot. Elliot may have played this game, but then again, Elliot probably wouldn't have played this game because he'd have been playing Premier League games.
Yeah, he's seen as maybe a senior member of the team now, so maybe he wouldn't have played.
Nico's the only one from that list that would have played in this game. However, again, it's the lack of signings. Had we signed another centre midfielder, that centre midfielder could have come in instead of Milner. And then had we signed another wide forward, that player would have probably come in ahead of Gordon or Minamino. So again, I get where people are coming from. You guys know where we stand on the whole situation as well. Shaka A says it's mainly up forward where we're extremely thin. I agree. I do agree.
Do you know what? Drift's not here, yeah. Big up Drift as well. Unfortunately, he couldn't make today. But do you know who's been catching my eye over the? I know it's only 5 weeks, and he'll go mad if not even Saint Max. Well, Saint Max kind of already has, but do you know what's been catching my eye? And we're gonna have to talk about him tonight. Ismail Assar, bro.
I'm still not feeling it.
Listen, I still don't think he's amazing, but let's just say we was able to get him for like a decent fee in the summer. I cannot lie to you. He just adds to the squad. He just adds something because you see, like right now, how we're having to do this whole like shifting. So not shifting so many players, but we don't really want to use certain players. He could have potentially came in and played this game.
No, I agree. Shall I tell you what it is, Matt?
Mm.
I want technical specialists now to come in.
Yeah,
if we're gonna
he's
get
more.
if we're gonna get a wide forward, I want that wide forward to be really technically efficient.
Yeah, I hear that. He's not. In my opinion, he's slightly more of an old school winger, a bit more like Adama Traore rather than like a Jota, because Jota's kind of techie with it, but got that eye for goal. Even though Sarr scored goals, it sounds so silly, but I still won't call him an inside forward though, Sarr. I'd still put him in that bracket of he's still an out winger. I don't know. It's hard to say.
So this is a good point as well. Saying Shaka says BTEC Mane is also going AFCON.
Yeah.
Do we need to add another African player to our forward line if Mo and Mane are staying as well? Yeah, that's three you've got.
And people in the chat, I hear you on the names because listen, what's his name? Karim Adeyemi. Oh, for me, I'd want him all day long over Sarr. I think they're different players. I'd want him, and I'd also want who's the other one? Someone said someone else said someone as well. I can't see it, but no, Karim Adeyemi all day over Sarr. I just don't. You know what it is, people. I think this is what happens when the squad is so thin, and you start looking for like almost anything, so to speak. Like if you leave a present to the last minute, for example, say someone's not birthday, but say you're going somewhere and you're like, oh flip, I forgot to buy this thing, and then you start clutching. You just grab anything. That's what it kind of is with Sarr. Because there's other names, like someone just said, no, Luis Diaz, there's better players out there. Yeah. It's just that what we have right now, we're already clutching people. So
agreed. Alex Gregro says Leicester not making waves like last year. Hopefully a January push for Tillemans. So point, Tillemans still hasn't signed a new deal yet, has he?
He hasn't.
If Leicester regress this season, a few of their players may start looking at the door.
I think so. Brendan Rodgers got a lot to do because he's already falling behind. And looking at the table even right now, Brighton would definitely slip up. Man City will go back in there. But we kind of predicted start the season, Cal. In no order, Liverpool, Man City, Man United, and Chelsea will be top four.
Yeah. But even if Leicester were to get Europa again, you could still turn to the players and say, look, unless you go to Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United, or
you won't get
City,
there anywhere else.
Where are you going to go? That's better. So it'd be very interesting. Eddie Ventures says, unpopular opinion maybe. Am I the only one who thought Konate was having trouble keeping up with the Prem? He looked a little bit...
He looked shaky at the beginning.
Yeah, he looked shaky at the beginning, but I think that's only natural. I think that's natural. I think he grew into the game really well. But it's hard for players to come from a different country, different league, and straight away just fit into the Premier League, and not just fit into the Premier League, but fit into how Liverpool play in the Premier League. So I think, by all accounts, I think he did well, personally.
He done well because that Palace team weren't going away, and I think he grew into the game for me, and he was shaky at the beginning, can't even front. He was struggling, and I think he made some little errors that you just won't see him make. I guarantee you later on in the season. Because here's the thing with Konate as well. He needed that kind of baptism of fire. I think if he comes in a game where it's like it's easy and I'm hardly pressured, we're just going to sit there and just go, nah, this guy's just sick. But he has never been tested. He got tested, and I'm glad he did. Think about the good challenge he made on Edouard when Edouard was put through, and he had to catch out of him, use his strength, and usher him to the side and get a toe on the block. And then obviously Ali saved it. So all in all, he done well in the end.
He agreed. Shaka A says Neres pushed out of the Ajax 11. He could be available in Jan. Could be good. Another good player. Another good player. I wouldn't say no to Neres. Again, I do think there are other players we can get, but I think he's good. I think Neres is good. Anything's kind of better than what we have now without being disrespectful to the players. But again, I don't want us to settle for anything. I think we're Liverpool Football Club. Let's go and get the best we can best available to us. Gary says, I know he's inexperienced, but what do you guys think of even Tony? Would be a good January squad addition. He keeps running and scores and assists. You'll never walk alone. He looks good. Yeah, I was going to say not necessarily for me, but he'd cost a bomb.
But I don't think, I'm going to be honest, and maybe, again, people are going to be like, no, but you said that about Ismail Assar, so I think we're doing that thing again where, because we didn't buy a striker, anyone that kind of looks like decent, and even I'm guilty of it because I just did it, we're a bit like, No, it's kind of sick, you know. Let's be real. With Liverpool, let me ask you like this in the chat, yeah?
Yeah.
We've got Mane, Salah, Firmino, and Jota. I know even Tony's a different player, but in my opinion, he doesn't come close to their level. Like, he's good, but like, in my opinion, he's better off going to a mid-tier team to see
Yeah.
if he can make that next step. Because I do feel like Brentford play to his strengths as well. I don't know. I don't know.
I
What the
tell
chat
you where I'd
thinks,
like
but-
to see Tony somewhere like Leeds.
Oh, do you know what?
Because even though
Yeah.
Bamford scores goals, we see Bamford is very wasteful.
Yes.
Tony at
He is.
Leeds could be a really good shout.
I think Leeds should play two up top, and they'll be even more of a problem. But they love that
As-
kind of
as in what?
4-1-4-1.
You could go. They could do 4-4-2 diamond. Play Rafinha in a 10.
I just
Go
feel
two
like
up top.
if they had, I just feel like they need someone to help out Bamford and get closer to him because there's a lot of work that they do like outside of Bamford.
Yeah.
But if you had someone close, like if they played a Rafinha off of Bamford, in my opinion, I think you get better out of Bamford and Rafinha as well.
Indeed. Well, Matt, obviously we don't know who the hell we're going to play tomorrow in terms of our starting 11. We've guessed at 1.
Yeah, guessed it.
Score predictions. What do you reckon?
Because I think it's going to be a pretty inexperienced squad. I must say Liverpool 2-1. I don't think it's going to be that easy because I think there's going to be a lot of change. Like, you know, when Klopp does them things where it's like you turn on TV and you're like, Ross, 7 changes or 8 changes, which is
Gonna be
kind
one
of
of
to be expected, which means it's either going to go one or two ways. It's either going to be very disjointed or and it's going to work. But I think it's going to be a little bit disjointed because that's just how it will be, in my opinion. So I'm going 2-1 Liverpool.
Yeah, I hear you with that one. I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool.
Okay.
Just before we go, though, how important is this competition, in your opinion, this season?
I don't think it's an important, like, if I don't want to get knocked out early, but let's say we did get knocked out semis, quarters, I'm not going to cry. I'll be a bit more annoyed about the FA Cup because the FA Cup means more prestige. I want to win every trophy. Don't get it twisted. But again, if we get knocked out this one, I'm not going to cry. Whereas, like, it's like if we was out of a title race by January, I'll be devastated. If we were knocked out the Champions League and we didn't even qualify to the next stage, I'll be devastated. So that's how I feel about it.
Shall I be real with you? And again, maybe I'm just being greedy. You guys know what I'm like when it comes to trophy. I really want us to go far in this because of the fringe players. Like, I think it could be invaluable for them to get this. Like, think of someone like Kaide Gordon getting to at least the semi-finals. How much experience he'd amassed, how much he'd start to get used to, if we do have games at Anfield, used to that atmosphere, used to away games, just get used to playing under Klopp, under the big lights. Connor Bradley, Owen Beck, all these type of players. Dare I say, even Minamino and Origi, it could help just boost their confidence, boost their value to the squad. I think the longer we stay in this competition, I think the better, or at least until the FA Cup comes around.
Yeah, do you know what? I hear you. You want, as I said, you want to win every competition, but you know what it is as well? That worries me. It's injuries, you know. I can't even front. And I know I don't want to like beat the dead horse, so to speak, but it's that whole thing of the deeper we go into the competition, there's more chance as well players could get injured. Even our so-called fringe players, then it causes an issue. Apologies about the sound, people. Give me 1 second.
No, you're cool. So also with that, Shaka A says Norwich focused on staying up, so they'll play the kids. Again, maybe. A couple of you asking about Balagizi. I think Mark A also asked about Balagizi, and Tyler Morton has been popping up in the chat as well. Again, 2 players I think should be in the squad for tomorrow. And I think we should be looking to bring them off the bench, especially if we're in a comfortable position as well. So I really do think this competition could be brilliant, especially for the youth and the fringe players, as I said. The likes of your Salahs, your Manes, your Fabinhos, your Hendersons. Maybe this competition isn't as important to them, but I think for the fringe players, for the players who are looking to get in and around the first team on a regular basis, I think it's key, and I think we need to try and stick in it as much as possible. A couple more super chats. So Gary says, good shot, Cal. When the big boys were at the Club World Cup a few years ago, players like Jones and Elliott stepped up and state their claims. Very true. Jones didn't go, but Elliott did. I remember Elliott playing the Aston Villa game, and he created more chances than anyone else on the pitch.
He played really well. I remember he played very, very well.
Genie Houdini says, we need all the silverware we can get. We haven't won enough to disregard any trophy. Reasons why we wanted squad depth this summer. Agreed.
I hear you on that.
Agreed. But we're here
Just-
now. We're here now. So we have to deal with what we have to deal with. In terms of the bench, I would like to see Billy Komecha on the bench. I'd like to see Musliowski, Balagizi, Morton. Probably those are the main four, and then maybe a few of the experienced guys just on the bench, just in case as well.
That's what I was gonna say. Would you put maybe a Jota, or is it too much of a risk, you think?
No, I'd go with a Jota.
Yeah. But put it like this. I just hope if we do win the game, it's just one of those games where we don't pick up no more injuries, because we're already getting a bit light. And we knew this already before the season started, but we said, you know what? We can't change nothing now until January. We move. Let's see what we can do. So let's see what we can actually do with the players that we have left in it. So,
yeah. Well, people, we're going to move on from here. Remember, guys, tonight we will be back at around 7 o'clock for our normal Monday night live show. If you have any thoughts, questions, etc., make sure you keep them tucked away until later on this evening. We'll be back full strength team for that one as well. But as we always ask, please do smash the like button for this. Let us know who you would like to start in this game, and let us know your score predictions in the comments as well, people. Matt, anything you want to say to the people before we take them out?
Boy, let's just get this dub, people.
Come on.
Onwards and upwards, man. We move, people. Trust.
Indeed. Until next time, people. Well, until later on this evening. Stay safe, stay blessed. We are Kopish and we are out. Take care, people. Thanks for watching.
See you tonight, peeps.